everybody. Richard Fredrickson here, and yes, we have another profile coming your way. Actually, it's two profiles. We have a profile for my friend Sarah Palya, who we go back to at least that Chicagoland Speedway place, and in the retail world of Alta. And now, for the past 3 years, she's been with your Greater Joliet Chamber of Commerce. And what is your position, by the way? What do you do here? What do you do here?
Director of Marketing and Events.
Great. And you're a perfect person for that. All right. We have so much time. Actually, we don't. So, because she's got meetings and all kinds of stuff. And this is the day, just so you mark it on your calendar, because when this airs, which will be, the week where it's going to be cold and no snow, plenty of it coming on outside. By the time we leave here, we'll need a sleigh to get out of downtown Joliet. And that's where the Chamber's offices are, by the way. And we might, at the bottom of the screen, give that contact information for the Joliet Chamber, so that if you have any questions, you want to follow up on more information, they have a website also, which we will also put at the bottom of your little picture you're looking at right now. Sarah, you have, coming up this month, there's actually two events that I think you have, and it's just days away from each other. We'll do the furthest one away, which is February 27th, correct? What would that be?
So we have a member luncheon. It is February 27th, and it is a emergency planning and management meeting. So we have John Lukanzik from the city of Joliet, who's actually going to share on emergency and disaster planning, because it's not an if, it's a when. We see that time and time again in the world that we live in. So just making sure that our businesses, our members, our local organizations are prepared for all the possibilities of any type of emergency, and that spreads a wide breadth.
Yeah. Will he be looking, once he goes through the explanation and the process, in other villages and cities, that department is made up of a lot of volunteers, correct?
Yes. So this in particular, he leads a team that is going to be in place for the Joliet area that helps people before, like, a Red Cross gets there, helps before other organizations, and really helps the people involved and helps them of like where to go and what to do. And then, like I said, also just helps with that planning piece of a lot of different emergencies. So sometimes it doesn't take any volunteers at all. It could be a technological attack. It could be a lot of different things. And so it can span a lot of different topics.
You forget that. That's a good one. And if you're interested, at the bottom of, at the end of our interview, we will have information for you to contact the chamber, okay? And then they'll follow up with the information for John Lukanich. The other, just a day away, or 2 days away, you have something which is a lot of fun, and it's the annual dinner and celebration of success. And I've often wanted to know this, so I've got a question that you don't know I'm going to ask, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Sarah, these are all nominated folks from different businesses and entities. How is that done? What's the process? How do they get on this list that we're about to go through?
Yeah, absolutely. So our category awards are by nomination process, and so every fall our nomination process opens. It's now merged to an online form, so it's easy to access, and anyone with that link, we definitely encourage our members to do it, can nominate themselves or another business to be considered for an award. And then from there, they're taken to a committee, and that's also where we come up with our larger event or our larger awards. And that is a private committee. We don't want them being
How come you didn't vote for me?
correct. We don't want them being persuaded by any way, so we keep those participants private. But we have a committee that meets and decides on those finalists for our category awards, and then the recipients of our larger awards at the evening.
Well, let me ask you this, if I can, to sneak in a little bit. This secret, highly confidential committee, are they members of the chamber?
Yes.
Okay.
Always.
Okay. All right. Well, let's start out. Well, I'm going to put this right in front of you as well.
I probably have it memorized by now.
This one's been around for quite a while. It's a great one. Brother James Gaffney Award. And Can we tell the people?
Yeah, so
Oh, okay.
all of our major awards have been announced.
Okay.
These are our category awards, so we nominate 3 per category in 5 categories, and we announce the winner of those 3 the night of the event. So you won't know the winner of those until February 25th at the Renaissance Center.
Okay, very good. So, it's just about our time, not your time, but our time, just about noon. Where would you go and congratulate the people who run that restaurant?
So we actually snuck attacked and went in their kitchen at Semino's off of Essington, and we told the Semino family just a few weeks ago that they were the recipient of the Brother James Gaffney Award of Excellence. So we went straight to where that pie is made.
Congratulations to Semino. Now, here's a woman, by the way. If there was a female Dick Clark, she would be that person because she never ages. She never ages. And she has done such great work. And I can't think of a better person to receive this Lifetime Achievement.
Yeah, Deborah Condati is the Lifetime Achievement Award winner. She's been with Easter Seals for 48 years. It's just an incredible achievement in and of itself, let alone all the other things that she's done, all the other boards that she sat on. She truly is deserving of this award.
And a day like today, if you'd like to go, well, you can't. Well, you could play golf, or you could go play hockey, or shoot some baskets, or get in the pool. Who would that be?
Our large employer of the year, which happens to be our Joliet Park District, a great partner of ours and a great partner in the community.
Now, there's the 2025 Small Employer of the Year. Okay.
Yeah, so that's Joliet Electric Motors, which I think is actually a hidden gem in Joliet. They're just celebrated 90 years in the community, and they have seen like a lot of iterations to their business. They've gone through decades and generations of family members, and they've been in Joliet this entire time. They are now just off of Route 52, heading towards Chicagoland Speedway. I believe it was an old laundry facility. Yeah. At Doris Avenue, and they are just, one of those staple businesses that you just don't hear a lot about, but should be recognized.
Well, you drive by every time you're going down 53. I think it's 53 right there.
Is it 53 there?
Yeah, I think it is there. And that used to be, I think, the American Laundry at one time. So, this is a good one. I'm going to let you just kind of go through this.
Absolutely. So our new business of the year is Interno Greenery and Home. They're right kitty corner to us here downtown on Chicago Street. Michelle is just a fantastic business owner. She's done so many great things. If you ever come downtown and see the big planters, she's always executing those so well, and just bringing a lot of beautiful things to our area. So we're, definitely making sure she knows that she is well loved at Interno Greenery and Home. And then our Young Professional of the Year is Kate Gilman. Kate has been a member of our Young Professionals for going on 10 years now and is so deserving of the award. She's so dedicated. She's a member of our board of directors for the Young Professionals, just an outstanding young professional in and of herself. And then our ambassadors, which do so much great community work for the Joliet Chamber and gets our news and message out there. Our Ambassador of the Year is Chris Osterfund, who is with Old National Bank.
Okay, great. The congratulations to all, and we look forward to being there and applauding for them and congratulating them. Now, the small business category, is that what we're going to do here?
So those are just our categories. So our categories are split into 5 separate areas, which is retail, financial services, social services, professional services, and education.
Okay, so the first one we go to is retail.
Yes. So we did have one back out in retail. They took themselves out of the running. So we have 2 nominees there, Siegel's Cottonwood Farm and United Rentals.
Great, 2 good businesses. I know that the Siegels are family-owned, obviously, and I have done business with United Rentals. So financial services, this is interesting. You don't often think of this particular organization, but they are there and have been there for many, many decades.
Yes, we have KSKJ Life, Busey Bank, and then Bank Financial.
And then social services?
Pink Hills, Joliet Area Chapter, the Alzheimer's Association, and the National Hookup for Black Women.
So you must have done this before.
Yes.
Professional services.
ServPro of Joliet, Unidos Marketing Network, and Discount Technology Workforce, also known as DTW.
I know one company, not personally, but I know what they've done because I'm on the board of the Illinois Rock and Roll Museum, and they have done so much work over there, non gratis, and we thank them for the work here, the work they do in the city, and the employees that they have there as well. Yeah. So, where am I at here?
We also have education. Don't forget about that.
Where's that at? It's on my list.
Cross it out over here.
Aha, crossed it out. It's a cross out.
Yeah, we have Joliet Job Corps, Troy Community Consolidated School District 30C, and then Laraway Community Consolidated School District 7DC.
So the Job Corps is involved in that?
They are one of the nominees, correct?
Okay, I see. I am familiar with that one. I've been there years ago. Actually, Lynn Lichtenauer took me on a tour of the Job Corps. I don't know if she was involved in that in those years. So when I introduced you, or introduced a profile, I said the Greater Joliet Chamber of Commerce. What is the greater part?
Actually, it's the Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Well, I'm not playing. What is that thing? Horseshoes, where it counts if you get close.
Yes. So
tell me again.
So it's the Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which basically means your business does not have to be in Joliet City specifically. We are a regional chamber. We stretch across several different counties, definitely several different villages and cities. And so we have over 800 members at any given time, and they're not just in Joliet.
Yeah, and it's important that you have the regional in there, because if you go online, you may not get it if you go greater, like some people do. So make sure it's Joliet Region, okay? Yeah. Let's see, what direction is that? Whatever direction that is.
North.
North. You have some other things on that board. We won't talk about the people's birthdays that are on there.
Our calendar.
Your calendar. Is there anything on that calendar that we haven't talked about and let people know about?
Absolutely. So our Council for Working Women every month hosts a luncheon on the first Thursday of every month. And on our March luncheon, which would be March 6th, we always host a Women's History Month panel for Women's History Month. So we have 4 esteemed panelists that are going to be speaking on their experience and, kind of motivating our emerging leaders. And so we have Barbara Martin, who is the president of Ascension St. Joe's, Dr. Carla Guzman, who's the superintendent of Joliet Township High Schools. We have Justice Mary O'Brien, who is our neighbor here and is a member of the Illinois Supreme Court. And then we have Marthea Fournet, who is the unit manager for IKEA fulfillment right across the street from Chicagoland Speedway.
Now comes the part where I ask her about the famous people who work for you here at the regional Joliet Commerce. It used to be an industry, but you just dropped
It is
that.
an industry.
Oh, it is?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Joliet Region Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Okay.
It's a long name.
Well, all right. Now they've got, let's see, I go back to 1, 2, 3. This, I think, is the 4th location, by the way, for the Joliet Regional Chamber of Commerce.
As far as I know, it's the 2nd. So they were, for a very long time, next to Chicago Street Pub on Chicago Street for a long time. And then just during COVID, moved here to downsize. We're at Rialto 2 building right next door to the Rialto.
Yeah, we're also where Midland Bank is right now. There was a chamber in there.
Predates my time.
Yeah, I know. I won't remember. Dick Schuster told me that because I was way too young for that at that time. Dick Schuster, who does our camera work here, does a great job. Okay, so who is in here at the Chamber of Commerce? Today we walk in, beautiful place, by the way. John Bays, thank you, wonderful building. And thank you again for the brand new Bays Tower going up. That'll be another show, I'm sure, we'll have with John. So, Sarah, who else is here besides Sarah Palya?
So as soon as you walk into our office, you're greeted by Evan Claffey. He's our office manager and a wonderful, somewhat recent addition to our chamber staff. He started a couple years ago. Myself, obviously, and then Mr. Mike Paone, who is our executive vice president. He's been with the chamber for, I think, either going on or just celebrated 23 years. He started as an intern here and never left. So such a wealth of knowledge in Mike Paone. And then Jen Howard, who is our president, was a longtime member. She was the former owner of TCBY Shorewood and a avid chamber member, and joined the staff in 2020, right in COVID.
What wonderful timing.
Yes.
Wonderful timing. All right, now let the folks know your location, and then we're going to put on the screen all the contact information as well for the Joliet Chamber.
Absolutely. We're at 116 North Chicago Street, Suite 110. Like I mentioned, we're right next door to the Rialto and Cut 158 Steakhouse. JolietChamber.com is the best place to reach us.
So what's the mission? What are you supposed to be doing?
So we help businesses in any way that they need help. And so we create networking opportunities. We provide educational opportunities like our monthly luncheons, like I mentioned. We advocate for them. Mike is our resident government affairs manager, if you will. And so we plans trip to Springfield, DC, advocate for the things that, impact them from a government standpoint. Pretty much you name it, we're here to help. And if we don't already have a program, we'll create it and make sure that our members are getting the help that they need.
I think this show will be on early enough. Do you still have openings for the February 27th event?
Yeah, so February 25th is annual awards. We still are accepting registrations there. And then for February 27th, we are still registering. It's at Harris Casino from 11:30 to 1 p.m. for that emergency and disaster planning.
Okay, very good. So what have I forgotten? Have we dotted our I's and crossed our T's?
We always have so much stuff going on. I could be here all day telling you about our plans for 2025, our young professionals group we didn't even touch on.
We can do that now.
Our ambassadors group. Well, our next thing for young professionals is March 14th. We have a luncheon or a lunch meetup at Heroes West. We have so many subgroups, so many events going on. And also make sure you save the date for our major festival, New Orleans North, which is August 15th.
A great, fabulous, awesome event. That's when Dick Schuster dresses up, he puts the costumes on. And
he's the stilt walker, right?
Yes, he is. That's the
Yeah.
stilt walker.
That's
Thank
what I
you.
thought. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It is indeed. Thank you so much for taking time out on your busy time. I always ask this favor of you, if you tell your neighbors and friends, tune into, not tune in, what kind of vernacular is that? That's like being edumacated. Check us out here on Channel 6 with your neighbors and friends and family, because we enjoy your company and we thank you for, being with us. Sarah, always good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
We'll see you next time. He's giving me some kind of directions, but I don't know what he's saying. So long, everybody. I'm Richard Fredrickson.